Good afternoon and evening, everyone. This is Terra Quator. It is Tuesday, February 6th, day 37.
37.
Still sober, still no beer in the house, still dealing with allergies. But overall, I'm confident I'm still confident I can get away from the beer. There are a few frustrations here and there. One gripe I do have, but I think I'll talk about that a little bit later, but because I need to see if things change for that first. But it's a suspicion I have. I can talk about that another time if it keeps up, because one thing's for sure, my I want to say anxieties, but others would call it paranoias, do creep up a little more often because my brain is just active enough to notice it instead of just killed off from being drunk or hungover or withdrawals. So I do have that. As you can see, the rack is here. I only have it halfway filled up right now, so I'm going to have to get 12 more pairs of sunglasses to fill it up. Quite delicate, though. But yeah, I like it. I don't know about wearing the larger ones during all of this. The smaller ones are just easier, and they're comfy. I like the tinies. But yeah, they're not going to be a whole lot today because it's Tuesday. I don't like Tuesdays. We've been over this. I still don't like Tuesdays. Yeah, just gonna take it easy. I just ate a little bit of a snack. I needed to eat something. It wasn't anything special. I just found some old tortilla chips, crumbled some cheese on it, and dumped Taco Bell fire sauce on it. So, like I said, it was something real simple because that stuff needed to be used anyway. Tonight, we're having some pizza, but I got just some frozen pizzas. Screaming, the only one that I find out of the frozen pizzas that actually tastes good would be Screamin' Sicilian. So we got some Screamin' Sicilian Bessie's Revenge pizzas, and if I have to, I'll throw some extra toppings on them. But yeah, if you get a frozen pizza, I'd say Screamin' Sicilian is the best tasting one. A little bit more temperamental in the oven because you have to bake it at a higher temperature than you'd be used to. By about 25, but I think if I remember, it's 425 degrees Fahrenheit instead of your typical 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And yes, I'm adding Fahrenheit because I do have friends in places not the United States, and we're the only ones that use Fahrenheit. So I add that little detail in so they don't think 400 degrees Celsius. Well, that's fire. Like, yes, let's light a pizza on fire, like literal fire, and turn it into just its carbon footprint, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm still a tad phlegmy because I walked to the store, so it's to be expected that I'm going to be phlegmy. I need to find my my Zysol and start taking that more regularly. It'd be great if I can find that so I can use it. And yeah, I have been thinking about getting back into streaming, but I know I need to just get myself more in order, I guess. Not to mention find the right times to do it, because Buttercup gets home around 4 p.m. every day. And it's shortly after that I have to make supper, and then after that I have to make sure she's getting to bed. So that's the struggle I did find with streaming in the evenings, where most of my old VR and drinking friends were most active around the exact time I need to be getting things done here in the house with the family. And to be completely honest, my family comes first. I'm always going to take care of my family before I do stuff like that. And with streaming, I can't just get up and leave a blank screen all the time. I did notice the last several times I streamed, because I'm wildly inconsistent right now. I got up a lot, so I really didn't do as much as I'd have wanted to for streaming. So it's a matter of probably finding a different time to do it, a different subject, and if it gets bad enough, I might have to go to a different platform. So when it comes to streaming, Twitch probably isn't the best idea since a lot of people's interests also changed. I mean, VR's kind of difficult to do. It's hard. It's hard for me to socialize in there. It's a lot harder for me to socialize sober because I'm not used to it anymore. I'm a lot more hesitant, a lot more quiet, I guess. But that's because, as much as people want to say I'm an extrovert who enjoys being around people, I'm quite the opposite. It's difficult for me to be around people. I used alcohol to be around people, not because I hate people, but because it's difficult for me. Yeah, I guess I'll bring it up. Before I became a heavy drinker, 20 years ago, is when I started drinking. Good Lord. Good Lord. It's been 20 years. Oh, geez. Well, I used it to make it easier to socialize. I'm definitely not an angry person, but what bothered me is people used to always tell me that I always seemed like an angry person. And being drunk made it easier because then what really set this in motion is being inebriated. I had friends and a couple family members like, "Oh, you're so fun to be around right now." Like, I'm drunk. Like, it started giving me the impression that people preferred being around me when I'm intoxicated, and that's pretty tough because then when you want to start pulling away from that stuff, you want to get out of that life, and all of a sudden, and I'm experiencing it right now, and it sucks. Where I'm trying to get my life in order and not be a drunkard, but a lot of the people I know, now that I'm trying to pull away from that stuff, I can barely communicate with them. I'll try to communicate, and it just seems like they're uninterested in talking. So it gives me the sensation that people do not like being around me when I'm sober. And that sucks. Because it just like, it makes you start asking, why am I doing this? Like, if people dislike being around me sober so much, why be sober? And it's not a good feeling. I hate that feeling because I'd really much rather be able to focus on getting my life together. And like I said earlier, that could be my paranoia. I have to give it some time and, let my friends and, take care of the things they need to take care of, because we all have our own lives. We all have our own frustrations. We have our own priorities to deal with before, getting on and socializing. Family comes first, your life comes first. It's just kind of difficult that it just so happened that this is happening for me at the same time of, trying to sober up and do what's right for me and my family. It just gives me the feeling that people just don't like being around me. Like I said, just don't like being around me sober. And if that's, I don't expect that to be what it is. But hypothetically, if that's how it ends up being, I think I'm just going to say screw it and keep doing what I'm doing now. Because in all honesty, it's not worth it. And by what I say about not worth it, it's not worth destroying my life further and destroying what little progress I've made already to keep friends. I mean, if I'm not that great to be around when I'm sober, then it's not on them, it's on me. I need to make improvements to myself if that's the case. If that's the case, I need to work on me as a better person sober than just being drunk so I'm more presentable for other people, if that makes sense. Now, if it's because what now? Oh, it's my father. Oh, okay. I don't get messages from my father very often, but he's a very busy man. He's always busy. Holy man, oh my goodness. Anyway, if it does turn out that people just wanted to be around me drunk because they wanted to party and have fun, then it's on them. But if it's because I'm less sociable and more of a grumpy man to be around, like if I'm just a grumpy person and not fun to be around when I'm sober, then it's on me and I need to make improvements. And believe it or not, I do need to make improvements with myself. That's what we should always be doing every day, is seek ways to improve ourselves further. Better ourselves as individuals, kind of thing. And that is something I'm working on. Like you'll definitely see there are days where I'm talking on here and I really don't have anything to talk about. I'm really not there. And again, a lot of that's from the curse of being a true bipolar. Bipolar is not how some people like to joke about it and say, oh, it's like a snap of a finger and all of a sudden you're like super pissed off. No, that's something else. Bipolar is often you don't know how you're going to be for that day, if you're going to be chipper, if you're going to be grumpy, if you're just going to be depressed and lethargic for no reason whatsoever, and it's just because you woke up that way. I guess it's been something like that for years. We just used to call it what was it? What was the old term? Woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, kind of thing. I guess would be the old term before we started understanding bipolar. But yeah, there are days where I just it's so hard to do anything, and you're going to be able to tell. Today's a little difficult, but I actually do prefer my manic days where it's just I want to do stuff. The problem is when you want to do stuff and you're forced to slow down, that's when it becomes absolutely miserable. And every negative thing going on currently in your life just floods in because you don't have the ability to just get things done. You're stuck to just steep in it, and it sucks. So it's a matter of always making sure there are things to do, but just enough to where if it's like a really off day, you're not overwhelmed with the things you need to do. Like, holy crap, I'm still not done in the kitchen. I need to clean up all that. And I need to clean up more in here so it's a little more organized and not junk mail constantly piling up. There's junk mail and official mail, and I have to sort through all of that to figure out what needs to be kept. And believe me, I keep saying that kind of thing, but it just piles up faster than I can keep up with it. Thanks, mail. Went from being you get something important or happy in the mail to you get so much junk you don't know what's important and what's junk. Thank goodness most of it just goes into a junk folder with emails instead of just the mailbox, but holy crap, local businesses are notorious for just inundating your physical mailbox with junk. And I'll tell you, those Burger King coupons just aren't even worth it anymore. Of course, I'm not ordering from places like Burger King or McDonald's anymore. I'm done with that. We've been on that subject before. But yeah. I'm going to be keeping an eye on how things go. Still trying to improve myself as a person, so I become more sociable as a sober individual. And no, if you like drinking and you want to be around people, I'm going to put it out, and I've tried to put it out before with someone who has somewhat ghosted me since going sober. If you like drinking and I'm around, don't feel like you have to not drink because I'm not. You can do what you want to do because that's fair and legal, and I used to be a drunk all the time. Just because I'm trying to stop, I'm not going to be that jerk. It's like, I'm not drinking, so could you get that away from me? I'm going to let people drink. And if people like, hey, drink with me, I'm just going to say, nah, I'm good. Because I don't want to be the kind of person to like, okay, well, if they're drinking, I've got to drink too. Otherwise, no one can. Like, if I'm not drinking, neither can you. Nah, that's kind of stupid, and it's rude and selfish. So if someone's going to have some drinks and have a good time, cool. That's fine. I'm just not going to drink. You can. But if you feel that I need to be drinking in order to be around you, no, I'm good. I'm good. Then I'm just not going to be around. But again, I don't expect that's what it is. I think what it is I'm probably just too grumpy. Or again, the other higher possibilities that people have other important things they need to be dealing with right now. And they don't have the time or energy to be dealing with people much. And that's what do they say? Occam's razor. Occam's razor would say that people have other things they have to do right now. And pardon me, I'm itchy. Every time I take a shower, I get really itchy, and it's probably because we just have too much hard water. But I don't know where to put water softener because the property management won't tell me. Well, outside of that, I'd say that about covers it. I've rambled far too long. So I'm going to let everyone go. I'm going to get out of your skin now, okay? This is Terra Quator on your Tuesday, February 6th, day 37. See, I got it without making mistakes this time. And I will see everyone tomorrow on your hump day. Just don't hump any dogs and don't hump any inanimate objects tomorrow. I'll see everyone tomorrow.
I will dispose of you.